Hello. How are you? Yeah, today is holiday, so sit and observe. I was just watching your yesterday live stream. Yeah, I saw you love it all. What a nice surprise. Yes. Today is Victoria's Day in BC, Canada, so every office is closed. Nice to sit. And you missed yesterday. You have a. You said you have a lot of questions. Do you want to Zoom? Yesterday, you forgot what day it is. It was completely nice. That's a good sign. It's a sign of awakening, maybe. Today, my head is completely empty. That's great. No question. Good. All the questions should lead us to home. So once you're home, you're at home, you have no question. My guess is right. Yesterday, I talked about the inner acme. Maybe we can talk a little bit more, because sometimes when I sit and observe, and after a while, the mind becomes active again. Sometimes I'll try to learn something, like inner acme, or some sentences or wise quotes from sutras or Tao Te Ching or whatever it is, to encourage, to play, like once you are at home for a couple of days, month, you want to travel. No, it's so. Yeah. Since we sit here and we may understand more about inner alchemy I talked about yesterday, I like the scientific terms of traditional terms, or say scientific modern explanations of the old or ancient traditions like inner alchemy. Hello, Katie Moses. Thanks for coming. So you can use AI like the science of inner alchemy or the science of refining essence into chi or primordial energy. I copy paste here maybe for you, but you need this is from DeepSeek. You have to register first. And I find, interestingly, the ChatGPT and DeepSeek had different answers. So it's okay. But main picture is same. And again, I used to very interested in Buddhism. Now I'm more interested in Taoism. Anyway, there's a commonality and a difference between these two, religions or wisdoms, two different systems. So essence in Buddhism or in Taoism, we talk about essence. Jing. Here is very interesting explanation. A copy paste. We can do it slowly because Jing associated with adrenal vitality, sexual energy, and the genetic potential potential, and qi, the dynamic force governing metabolism, immunity, and neural activity. So there's a bit more detailed explanation here by DeepSeek. I love this because it helps your understanding, right? We are living in a modern modern education, so like physiology, science, and so on. So we're gonna copy paste here. So many things. Okay, I'll read it for you. Jing as essence. Jing, essence. Biological correlates is a reproductive essence linked to hormones, testosterone and estrogen, and gametes, sperm, ova. Sorry, my English is stupid. Adrenal essence correlates with cortisol, DHEA, and adrenal gland function. So we know when we were young, like 13, 16, 18, the sexual hormones are very strong. So if we could save this essence before the adulthood, like get married and leak the essence, if we could reverse the leaking of essence, through sexual life or whatever it is, if we can keep that energy within the body and turn into the qi, like refining the essence into qi, that's ideal way to become immortal. The Taoist practice, the final goal is to you become immortal, and not only you understand the Tao, but also you can use the body, transform the body to align with Tao. That's so we call it 性命双修. But as normal people, we don't have this access. I will say over 1 million can be lucky to have this practice before reaching the teenagers, before they become teenagers. So we should have a lot of merits to train in Taoist way before the adulthood. Anyway, we can understand it now and practice for the health, for our health and the energy, right? So, essence. And the next one is the qi as bioenergy. Mitochondrial APT. Yes, actually, qi is in every cell as mitochondrial APT. Reflects cellular energy production, ATP, and oxygen utilization. Wow, beautiful. Also, autonomic nerve systems, AMS, sympathetic fight or flight, and parasympathetic rest and digest balance. You see, this balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic is very, very important. So, in deep meditation, you're not sleepy, you're highly alert, okay? Yet, you're also highly relaxed. Do you follow? That's a balance, a perfect balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve systems. Like now, you can listen to me or observe your surroundings, highly alert, yet relaxed, worry-free. Lately, I fall asleep during meditation. It's fine, it's okay. But try next time after sleep, you meditate. So you are not sleepy at all. You are highly alert yet completely relaxed, both physically and mentally. That's meditation. So you can bring this idea into mindfulness. You're doing things in a relaxed, even happy way, washing your dishes happily, walking from your kitchen to living room happily, talk with your family, friends happily, relaxed. Like now, actually, just like now. But, our mind tells you, I like this, I don't like that. That's the problem. You don't see the equality of doing things. Every doing is equal, actually. I know there's some very important things you have to do. There's some trivial things you don't have to do. But if you're a meditator, it's the same. Mind can tell you what is important, what is not important, but your heart or your spirit tells you they are equal. That's a balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic. Eventually, your understanding, your realization helps you to balance, to find that S line between blackfish and whitefish. It's a dynamic S line. The whole world is dynamic S line, actually. Can you find balance? Once you can find this balance, you can play. Play inner Acme. Otherwise, as I told you yesterday, inner Acme is not for everyone. It's not for beginner. Because your understanding is imagine even a frequent meditator, his understanding is not right, is not authentic. If he try to practice inner Acme, no, a lot of risks and pitfalls. Inner Acme is for, advanced meditators or realizers. But we can take a look first, take a peek. Here is very interesting nerve systems associated with this inner Alchemy. You see endocrine mechanisms, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, HPA. Chronic stress depletes gene like your adrenal exhaustion, while meditation and breathwork, practice reduce cortisol, enhancing chi flow. What holiday? Here, BC, in Canada, we have Victoria's Day. Victoria's Day. It's raining, you know. My wife used to organize all the performances like a parade. You know, people dress in traditional clothes, performing some art and walk in the parade. Today's bad day for a parade. It's like only 10 degree here and raining. Yesterday was totally fine. Anyway, it's a coastal city here. Hello, Charles. If you do have any questions about meditation, awakening, inner acme, please ask. So, hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, HPG, sexual energy or gene conservation may optimize testosterone or estrogen levels, supporting vitality and resilience. So, if you want to become immortal, save your energy, have less sexual life. Less, I mean, as normal people, we have some. Supporting vitality and resilience. This is so, in terms of inner alchemy, almost, I mean, lots of people, or majority of the people, stops because they cannot stop sexual life. This is high level, and you have to make a huge decision for this. It's not for everyone, definitely. It's not for the majority of people. It's only for those who really take awakening or immortality very, very seriously. Okay? But before you do it, we can, you know, understand and study a little bit why there's masters or Taoist monks or nuns go this way. I mean, they like to do it. So bioelectromagnetic field, Qi as bioelectricity. Wow, very good. I like this combination between science and the tradition. It helps us to understand, maybe interested in practice later. The body generates measurable electromagnetic fields, EMF, from heart, ECG, brain, EEG, and muscle activity. All these fields are present, but our eyes cannot see. Feel your EMF and ECG and EEG. Feel it. Practices like qigong may enhance coherence in these fields, improving energy efficiency. Energy efficiency. This reminds me the AI competition between US and China. So in terms of consumption or energy efficiency, China's chips are better, even though they have their calculating power is less. Very interesting, right? AI consumes a lot of energy, but Chinese version tried to decrease the energy consumption in terms of improving energy efficiency. So as human being, as meditator, if you have less chaotic negative thoughts, you are saving your energy. If I'm right, thinking or brain consumes 20% of your total energy. So if you can stop the overthinking, you save some energy. And once you can slow down thinking, you may fire a thought consciously, improving your energy efficiency. You see that? Interesting, right? Coherence between the EMF and the ECG. Let's say the coherence between the ECG and the EEG. The brain-heart coherence is a very big topic in neuroscience now. If you meditate every day, I bet you can feel your heart beating. Do you? Once you can feel your heart beating in your chest, I think that's the moment of coherence between your brain and the ECG, your heart. Listen to your heart and using the mind or brain to operate. Yeah, heart here. I mean, in Buddhism, we do have Heart Sutra. So, heart is not only a physical organ, but your essence. This remind me, okay, this like, maybe it's a bit off topic. So Einstein said, every object in space is not isolated from space. Every object in a space is exactly the extension of space. If you truly understand the meaning, now my understanding of this sentence is all the 5 sensory inputs like image, sound, object, taste, body touch, are the objects in the space, in your biofield, the heart of the objects is full of energy. So let's, for example, the hydrogen, H, we drink water, H2O every day. Hydrogen, in the center, there's a nucleus. Neutron, one neutron and one electron spins around. It's like electronic clouds. It's not, it's a cloud. It's not orbit, anyway. So imagine you hold the nucleus of hydrogen, like let's say a soccer ball, at football size. This size is a nucleus of hydrogen. Do you know where is the electron moves around? The electron moves around, if I'm right, 150 meters to 200 meters away from this nucleus. That means in a standard football stadium, okay, if you stand in the center of the stadium holding a soccer ball size of nucleus, the electron of the hydrogen moves around the edge of the stadium. Okay, I give this image because between the electron there and the nucleus here, everything is empty. That's the empty space, we call it. But Einstein said that the nucleus here and the electron there are not isolated from space. It is the extension of the space. And Nassim Haramein said, the space between these two little things, like 99.99999 of this hydrogen, the space of hydrogen is full of energy. What I'm going to say is, this is your heart. So your heart is the field, the magnetic field, and objects is just a teeny tiny extension of this field. That's why you can charge yourself. You can practice the inner alchemy. That's the fundamental principle or fundamental physics, I would say, that you can heal yourself. If the empty space is full of energy and you are space itself, voila, that understanding helps you to heal, helps you to be worry-free. Now you're full of energy, you can heal yourself. Do you follow? Look around, the space around you is full of energy. So the only thing we have to do is calm down the mind, become the space. So the birth and death of a sentient being, like the body, like human body, like a dog, like a cat. The body is the physical expression of this never-changing never-changing field or space. So, body dies, you don't. Field never dies. Okay, field is always here and now. The moment you wake up in the morning, the fields collapse into particles. There's a world projected by your mind, creating a diverse world, including the body, including the room, the nature, everything, every phenomenon. So the conclusion is that you are not the objects. You are the space. You are not entangled objects or particles. You are the fields. And the fields are unlimited, has infinite potentials. That's the moment of awakening. That's the moment of freedom. In Chinese, we say 大自在. A total freedom, not only financially. I hope you can be financially free. You can travel, you can buy anything you want. But the freedom I'm talking here is a complete freedom. The greatest freedom. It's kind of off topic. We're talking about the inner alchemy, the science of inner alchemy, or refining the essence into qi. But this is interesting too. Here is interesting, the D part. Mitochondrial and metabolic efficiency. Mitochondrial biogenesis, breathwork, and meditation up-regulate mitochondria, cellular powerhouse, boosting ATP production. Sounds great. So, while you meditate in a deep meditation, every cell generates qi. So it's a microscopic level of qi. The mitochondria, the cellular powerhouse, can produce more ATP with better efficiency. Days ago, I watched a video about a qigong master of Tai Chi master. He gave a very good example for this. You know, in the martial art or combat, like fightings, if you have a heavy or stronger arm or fist, you can beat your opponent, right? But this master, after years of training of martial arts and Tai Chi and meditation, he gave an example. He said a strong hammer can crack anything, you know, a rock, anything, a metal even. But if you use a hammer to hit a tire, like fully inflated tire, it bounces off, right? Bounce back to you. So what he gave the example is after years of training, his fascia, his muscle tissues, the connective tissues become like tire-like. So if you imagine the master of qigong is fighting against like a boxer. The punch the boxer showed to the master can be bounced off because he got this cellular qi, and all the connective tissue or fascia in his body becomes tire-like. I just give you an example, okay? It's very interesting. That's why some masters can eat very less, but still still energized. You know, maybe because of this, the ATP production is boosted and more with more efficiency. Right? Makes sense. Also, the oxygen utilization. Copy paste here. Slow, deep breathing, like Taoist embryonic respiration, increases oxygen saturation, enhancing aerobic metabolism. Wow, I love this. Tai Chi embryonic respiration. So for this part, I cannot achieve an embryonic respiration, but I can give you a picture in the future for me, for you too. So in deep meditation, some masters can use their skin to breathe. So their breathe through nose or mouth, through lung, almost stopped, while their hairs of the body can stand up and breathe. 胎息炸毛 in Chinese we say 炸毛. Your hairs, every hair of your body stands up and breathe. The third part is the psychological and cognitive dimensions. Sublimation of libido. Whoa. Redirecting sexual energy into creative or spiritual pursuits, art, meditation. The sexual energy, testosterone and estrogens, right? So you don't leak anymore, you transform up through your spine and down through your vagus nerve to make it a circle. It's lots to learn. Maybe we can finish here. Any questions so far? We just learned and studied together. Neuroplasticity, focus intention, E. During alchemy practices strengthens prefrontal cortex activity, improving emotional regulation and focus. Sometimes we use our intention or focus intention to focus on the lower dantian, basically your belly button area, and the midpoint between the two nipples, that's the middle dantian, and here the third eye, the upper dantian. We use the intention to strengthen prefrontal cortex activity, which transform neuroplasticity. So if you practice it every day, there's a neural pathways may form in your and physically in your brain, and that's why you may have a good habit later, because now you have physical neural pathways. Actually, that's how meditate can transform the old habits in a better or good habits, you know. And this focus intention, no matter it's breathing or mindfulness or meditation, any style, can become your new habits. You really has a neuroplasticity here, a neural pathway here, improving emotional regulations and focus. So we need a repetition of this intention of meditation, of breathing. One day is definitely not enough. 1 month is not enough. It's a lifelong journey or practice. In Zen Buddhism, we have 打气. So 打气, maybe I can. 打气. Da Qi means this break, strike the 7, beat 7. What the 7 means? 7 means your 7th consciousness, which is your old habits of thinking, the hidden habits of negativity. Basically, the ego, the illusion of I, the limited I, this little I. We have to break this limitation of prison of I, the ego, by this thing, by neuroplasticity, to create a new I, which is more. New I is not, you don't need to create it, you just discover it, because it's our essence. Maybe we can pause here and a bit of meditation again. Silence. Any questions or sharings? Thanks for coming. I will sit for a couple of minutes. Thank you. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye now.